Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Thiago Alcantara to review today. A couple people have said that this card is not too bad. They've experienced good things with it, so I wanted to go ahead and try him out because he has really good base card stats without chemistry styles, because he looks like he's a defensive-oriented player too, with the medium work rate, 78 base for defense, 76 physical. I mostly see him being used as a center mid, right? Mostly on the right side because he doesn't have the weak foot capabilities because he's at 3-star, but an interesting card regardless. I've actually used this card a few times for the player reviews that I've been doing, and he's pretty fun to use in all fairness, right? So we're looking at a card that has 5'9" height, medium work rates, 5-star skill moves, which is obviously always fun to have, and a 3-star weak foot. In regards to attributes that he has 88 acceleration, 74 sprint speed. Basic gives him a +5. 77 finishing with 85 shot power. 88 attacking positioning, okay. Short passing at 97, long passing at 94, which is great, obviously. Dribbling is obviously phenomenal with him too, and I will confirm that I've tried it. It's pretty good in game, especially because of the height that he has. And then defensive capabilities as well are there. So this card, in my opinion, it really just depends on how you want to play him in game, because he even has 71 strength, but he has 90 stamina, okay? Very big thing there. So I'm going to go ahead and check out Thiago's card with certain chemistry styles just so I can get a good idea of how I would personally use him in a team. So like I said, I think the 4-1-2-1-2, 4-3-1-2, 4-4-2 would make the most sense with this type of card for sure. He seems like he could play the left center defensive mid position okay, because here's the thing, right? If you were to give him a shadow chemistry style, right? Because you guys know I love my shadow chemistry style for players that have good defensive capabilities. He gets +11 for acceleration, +10 for sprint speed, but look at the defensive boost that he gets to make him a competent midfielder in the defensive area. The thing about the basic is that we're going to be able to try him out with the +5s for defensive awareness, stying tackle, sliding tackle, so we'll see if he can work in a 4-2-3-1 nicely without the boost, because then you'll be able to tell that with the boost, he'll be significantly better. However, I do think he's going to be a more attacking-oriented CDM because of those 88 attacking positioning, which is why I'm trying to tell you guys that he looks more ideal as a center mid, because he's a person that can dribble with the ball quickly. He can shoot the ball with good capabilities because it's at 77 finishing with 85 shot power. He's not going to finish all opportunities, but you definitely could make him with a Hunter chemistry style, giving him +10 for shot power, right? Giving him a +10 for shot power, +10 for shot power, +5 for finishing, so you bring it up to 82 finishing. All of this with the fact that he still has some decent defensive capabilities, but he's going to be more attacking oriented. So a lot of variables to consider with this card in regards to using him. He has a good rotation policy for sure, because in game, if I want to use Goretzka and Kimmich as my CDMs or as my center mids, I can totally do that. And then in game, I can just maybe switch Thiago Alcantara to my cam position. And because he has, right, because he has the 88 attacking positioning, this whole team works really well for rotating to different teams, right? Switching different formations and whatnot. So what I want to mainly use him in is going to be the 4-2-3-1, mostly as a left center defense mid, playing off of someone like Kimmich, who is a good box-to-box player. We'll leave Goretzka there for now. And then the other position I want to try him out in is going to be the center mid position over to the right side again. And you can see a good rotation policy. You have Goretzka in the team, Joshua Kimmich in the team, Thiago Alcantara in the team. So it's a nice little midfield balance. Obviously, it'd be better if you had a medium-high where Kimmich was, just because it causes a better balance for a 4-1-2-2. But the main thing that we're going to see here is whether he has a good attacking presence and whether or not he comes back nicely as well, because medium is a very interesting work rate to consider with this card. We are going to be doing the review with him and Mukiel at the same time, so we will play the game seriously because I want to see how he's going to move just in the general sense, right? So let's get into a game, see how he plays. Hopefully he's a beast. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off with the 4-2-3-1 first, and then we'll switch to the 4-1-2-2 when I feel like it's necessary to. I like his movement so far in the left center defensive mid position. Oh, that dribbling is just super nice with this card. I really think, because a 4-4-2 is kind of like a, it depends on how you set it up, obviously, but with a 4-4-2, if you play it with like an aggressive oriented attack, you know, he's going to be kind of nice with that, especially with someone like Kimmich next to him. His positioning, obviously, off the ball in the defensive areas is actually kind of nice, and that's because he does have defensive capability, so that's going to be a big thing for sure. Okay, so how does he line up with a 4-2-3-1? Not pressing anything here. Just going to be blocking the middle. Stays in line with Kimmich really nicely. Actually starts to cut passing lanes a little bit right there. Unbalanced instructions. I didn't even tell him to cut passing lanes right there. So it's either he chooses to do it or he doesn't, right? Again, positions himself really well outside the 18-yard box in that situation. You can see that once I start making these specific passes right here, this is the guy that was initially on the edge of the 18-yard box. So pretty nice. I actually think that his weak foot isn't going to be a problem for doing passes or whatever because of the fact that he's so fast on the ball because of his great dribbling stats and his height. It's really not going to be it's not going to present a problem at all, in my opinion.
Thiago. Kimmich with it.
I like the balance that he has with Kimmich. Like, he doesn't aggressively attack forward if he doesn't need to. And the reason why he doesn't, it's very obvious that the medium work rates is definitely affecting that, right? So, again, guys, when we use these certain tactics for these formations and whatnot, we're not really using stuff that we would normally use. That's something that I do later on in the game, right? But it's good to test out players on balance instructions because you get a feel for how the card wants to move and then you kind of adjust your tactics to it. And so far, just with balance, like, he's moving really nicely. I actually feel like if I were to switch to my actual possession-based attacking, he would actually be really good. Because you can see even there, he's positioning himself really nicely. He's not aggressively pushing up if he doesn't need to. Right? Look at this situation right here. He's still in the defensive area, right? Shows defensive capabilities right there without the shadow chemistry style as well. So, in my opinion, right, because he's already good at dribbling with the ball at his feet, I think giving him that acceleration and sprint speed boost with any sort of chemistry style that would do that would be an ideal situation. Because, again, responsiveness, but you have the acceleration and stuff, it would be a pretty nice thing to have, right? So you can see, even in this attacking play right here, he kind of lingers in that CDM position really nicely. I don't know why Perisic just shushes by default right there. But in regards to the instructions, you can take a look that we just have him on stay back while attacking, but he follows that instruction well because the medium work rates makes him do that, right? So what we're going to go ahead and do right now, because we're using pressure on heavy touch, possession 4 and 4 and 2 and whatnot, is we're going to go ahead and switch to the 4-1-2-2. And see how he moves with that. You can see that with this playstyle, he's moving really nicely. But I want to see what he does on basic 4-1-2-2 instructions. His positioning to go back on the defense is actually really nice. Yeah, even with the medium work rates, my dudes, like, he's only going to make a run when it's those situations right there. I just want to take a first-time shot just to see what it's like from that situation. So, again, if you want to use him in a 4-1-2-2, I would definitely recommend the Hunter chemistry style because I think the fact that he already has good defensive capabilities by default, it would be ideal to increase his shooting as much as possible so that whenever he does get into the situation, because he's somewhat of an aggressive attacker because of the high attacking positioning, it'll be an ideal situation to be able to score most of your opportunities, right? But look, just like over here, look at where he's positioned himself still, right? He's aggressive when the space makes sense, but he's not like super aggressive where he constantly doesn't like someone like Goretzka, right? Like Goretzka is going to always utilize that space because of those high medium work rates. Like even if I just make this pass right here, bam, he's already doing it. Just over there in the middle, you can kind of already see it, right? So I know that people are going to be somewhat confused about the whole 4-2-3-1 situation. I did start off the formation with the tactics that I normally use for sure, but then I was like, oh, I need to try them on balance first. So obviously I don't really like show those stuff when I'm not doing like the commentation over it. I'm just switching it myself. And then that like soon into the game, I was just like balance. I'm like, I'm not really testing out the card. Because I'm trying to play to my playstyle a little bit, but also to the card's playstyle. So I kind of had to switch back to my actual tactics during the game because I had to try out the card with it. And with the possession-based playstyle, like he plays it really nicely. He's not as aggressive as I initially thought he could be. The medium work rate is really making him be a super balanced player. It's very difficult to explain, but he's not aggressive when he doesn't need to be. Like Goretzka will still do it sometimes, but it offers a great attacking presence, obviously. But with Thiago Alcantara's medium, like I personally like the balance. I think he'd work out really nicely in the CDM position as a more balanced midfielder, but then also strictly as a center mid where he's just going to be a dude like that, where he's kind of like just laying back and just vibing, you know? Like, he's only going to make runs if it's, like, situations like this, you know? Like, if I pass this ball back, maybe he'll utilize that space if the other person's not there. But you can see that Bellarabi starts to go there, so he's like, oh, I don't need to utilize that space anymore, right? So he's not going to be super aggressive. Like, here, you'll see a little bit of a transition forward right there, see? Because I'm starting to go upwards, Bellarabi's starting to transition back into the middle, so you'll notice it for those situations right there. Should be a nice little heel-to-heel angle. Hit the post still from that angle, too. But, it's a nice card so far. It's a really good rotational player. That's the biggest thing I can say about it. It's just fun, you know? It's not too expensive for the quality that he offers. If he was like 300k, I'd be like, it's absurd for his price. But I think he's like 180, 160, so can't go wrong with that price for the quality that he offers in-game, in my opinion. Let's try a long shot from there with pressure. Oh, not the greatest. Not the greatest long shot. I always try regular shots in this game just to see if it works, but I'm obviously supposed to still do some extra stuff here next to the goalkeeper. But, yeah, man. The biggest thing with the card is obviously the dribbling. In a 4-2-3-1 with only basic chemistry-style boosts, he's doing pretty well. I don't know why this guy's spamming that right there. Take off that time finishing, my boy. But, it's an interesting card for sure. I actually kind of want to switch back to the 4-2-3-1 right now. But I want to use him as like I want to use him as a balanced center defensive mid. So because he doesn't have the 4-star weak foot, I'm going to switch with him and Kimmich. And Kimmich is going to be on stay back while attacking cover center, but Thiago won't. We're going to have him on medium. I just want you guys to see the balance between the two once they're playing with each other. Oh, Lewandowski with his class finishing, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys know, the second period, we usually try to play a little bit more serious, usually to places that I expect the players to play. I'm really liking him on the balanced instructions with cover center on him for the CDM position. It's really fun. And it's because he can dribble really quickly with the ball. Again, see, has the defensive presence to be able to intercept opportunities like that. But with a shadow, would be way better. I like that positioning with him as he's pushing forward. Ooh, I try to do that. Comes close. He comes back really quickly to get that ball. Again, has the stamina, so he'll be able to do that consistently throughout the game. Oh, I never do a skill move after that. He'll definitely benefit off of like a tall player for sure. If you can have like a medium high next to him for sure, I think it'd be a super ideal situation. Okay, so I just found out that this card was actually 137k, and obviously it's not like a full meta card, but for 137k, he's a really fun card to use. But it kind of makes me like think about this, right? Where it's like, if this card is 137k, there's some SBC cards where they would just release them for like crazy prices because of certain players that are already in SBCs that influence the market and whatnot, right? But with this card, ladies and gentlemen, at 137k, you're looking at a really, really fun card to use. Again, not everything has to be meta. He's not going to be the most meta player because he's 5'9". His defensive stats are not super up there. And he's not a sort of like aggressive center midfielder. But I'm telling you guys, man, if I were to use him in my team, balanced instructions with someone who's medium high next to him on stay back while attacking cover center, but this card's only on cover center in on the right side or the left side, he just looks like a really fun card. I definitely want the acceleration, sprint speed, and defensive stat increases as well. Personally, that's just for me in the CDM position. Regardless of him being in a more balanced position, pressure on heavy touch with interceptions at 99 is a pretty nice thing to have, right? And the fact that he already has really good dribbling stats, he has great shooting stats for a midfielder, passing stats, and stamina, he's a very, very usable card. For 137k, in my genuine opinion, like, you can't go wrong with that. Like, it's definitely worth using. It's worth trying out. You can see the market's crashing a little bit with these types of players because of the next team of the season that's coming out, right? But he was a really fun card to use. I didn't mind using him at all. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'll catch you guys for the next one. I'll try to get Mukiel out because I'm trying to do all these cards at once, like, because of the Bundesliga. So a lot of clips are going to be a little bit out of place, but you guys will get the picture. I'll see you guys then.